Swiggity swag, what's in the bag? Jay here bringing you guys my review of Pokemon Dark Rising because our Dark Rising LP has finished. Unfortunately, we did not complete the Nuzlocke, and so, yeah, we just didn't complete the Nuzlocke, but we did make it to the Elite Four, so I feel like I've played enough of the game to give you guys my personal review of the game and all that good stuff, and I'm just going to review it as a game. I'm not going to, like, take into account, you know, oh, it's the most popular download or anything like that, or, you know, I'm not going to take into account, you know, really anything. I'm just going to review it as a game itself, and that is it. All right, I'm just going to take the game by itself and just review it that way. All right, and if you guys have an issue with it, then just know that this is my personal opinion. I'm not trying to bash anyone or anything like that. It's just that, you know, I'm just going to review the game as I see it, and as, you know, I'm going to use my personal experience to you know, shape this review. But I hope you guys do enjoy this review. If you guys do, please don't forget to hit that like button down below to show your support, and let me know down in the comment section below, what did you guys think of this game? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you not like about it? What did you like about it? You know, and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna go over the good things about the game, the bad things about the game, and then just give you guys, you know, a summary of what I think of the game overall. So let's just go ahead and jump into the review. So the good stuff about the game, one thing I did like about the game was the story. I actually liked the story. Like, if you actually step back and you view the story in its entirety, it's really just a kid who is thrown into a really messed up situation where he has to pick up where his father left off, or pick up where his mother and father left off, and defeat this ultimate evil, you know. And that's essentially, like, that's like an anime plot, but I mean, hey, it's a plot, and it's one of those plots that it works. You got to fight this evil called Darugus. He has the power to, you know, take over anyone's mind and use their negative feelings to influence them to do, you know, bad things, yada yada yada. And he takes over a few characters in the story, and you have to beat them to snap them out of it, which, I mean, that's really anime-ish, but I mean, that's essential. I mean, Pokemon's anime, so I mean, this not really all that. It's not bad at all. And, you know, you have your friends. You got your rival, who's your friend. You have like 3 other rivals that are your friends. You guys form a group, and you guys, as a group, go and take on Darugus. So it's not just you alone. Well, technically, it is you alone, because, well, you know, that's how Pokemon games are. But you have a group of people helping you out as well. So, the story was good. I enjoyed the story. You know, it's just, yeah, like I said, a kid trying to stop the ultimate evil. That's really about it. And I mean, I can get behind that story. I actually like that. I actually really like that. I also don't have the creativity to come up with a story like that. So, you know, props to the creator for being able to come up with a story like that. So that's what it comes down to when it comes to these ROM hacks. Like, you know, I always respect that they can come up with like a fan fiction story like that and, you know, turn it into a game, because I can't do that myself. So that's always going to be one thing on the good side when it comes to a ROM hack. It's just that, like, they were able to take a made-up story and just make it into a game. So I definitely enjoyed the story, though. I definitely did. Also, another good thing about the game is that they included Generation 4 and 5 mons, along with a few Fakemon and a few, or I guess like one Pokemon that is, I guess, I don't know if Shadowlugia would be considered a Fakemon. I don't think it would be considered a Fakemon, because Shadowlugia is in the actual Pokemon series, Pokemon XD. But they included Generation 4 and 5 mons, which is amazing, and they included a Fakemon, which is also amazing. The unfortunate thing, though, is that the Pokemon were subjected to Generation 3 mechanics. There was no physical special split, so Pokemon that got imported, like Weavile, for example, aren't really as good, because Dark and Ice are special. They're special types. So any dark move, any ice type move will do special damage, and Weavile doesn't really have the best special attacks. So Pokemon, like I said, Pokemon like Weavile aren't really all that great. But then you have Pokemon like Hydreigon, who have a massive special attack stat. So, you know, Hydreigon will benefit greatly from the stat from the lack of physical special split. And then Pokemon like Scrafty, who get bulk up and whose weakness is what, fighting and flying, and fighting and flying are both physical. So all you gotta do is just bulk up with Scrafty, and basically no one can touch you at all. They have to hit you on the special side with something that's not super effective, and it probably won't kill because, you know, bulk. So but other than that though, I do always like the addition of Generation 4 and 5 mons. It's really cool to see you know, later generation mons in an early generation game. I'll always enjoy that about a ROM hack. And I also enjoy that they had a Fakemon. I kind of wish that the player got their own Fakemon, but in the context that they introduced the Fakemon was, you know, a product of creature creation, which was evil. So I mean, us having a Fakemon would be kind of bad, because that would imply that we used evil forces to create that Pokemon. So I understand why we didn't get a Fakemon. Yeah, I understand why we didn't get a Fakemon, but it would have been kind of cool if they worked it in somehow. But we did get, you know, Victini, we got Shaman, we got access to Celebi, Mew, Deoxys. Unfortunately, Mew and Deoxys don't obey you because they weren't caught at their respective places. You get access to Jirachi, you get access to a lot of legendaries, which, I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't really make sense, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, what legendary encounter makes sense at all, really, if it's not a part of the story, you know? But we get access to so many legendaries in the game, so I definitely respect that as well. So that's all for the good things about the game. So let's go ahead and go on to the not so good things about the game. And one thing that really stuck out to me was the level spikes in the game. As you guys saw me play through the game, you guys saw that the levels just kept spiking at random times. Like, I'll battle like a level 20 gym leader, right? Her ace is level 20, okay? And then the trainers on the route, on the next route, they have like level 15, 16, 17, right? But then you go and you battle like a single trainer in front of a cave and their ace is level 30. It's like, how do you jump 10 levels? How do you jump 10 levels between like a total of what, 9 trainers? Like, how do you do that? That's ridiculous. And it kept doing that for the entire game. It just kept jumping levels, and like, you'll go and you'll just, you know, mosey on through the game. You get stopped by 2 people. Oh, they have level 70 Kieran forms. It's like, what? Like, how do you prepare for that? You just don't. And you just, like, if you're doing a Nuzlocke, a Pokemon is gonna die unless you're just completely over level and you're prepared for it and you actually know what's happening. But if you're playing the game blind, as in like you know nothing about the game at all, then that will take you by surprise. And you know, it was just kind of ridiculous how these level spikes just came out of nowhere. And then so eventually you get a grasp of the game, you get a grasp of these like ridiculous level spikes, and you start grinding like every 5, like every time you battle someone who has like a level, let's say a level 50 Pokemon, you grind 5 levels, so then you're level 55 or 60 perhaps, and then you battle all these other trainers who are like still level 30, early, maybe early 40, maybe, and then you battle like a leader. Oh, that leader has like level 60 Pokemon or level like late 50s, and it's like, oh, so in like 5 or 6 battles, somehow, some way, the game is now on par with me. And it's like, okay, you got to grind again, because if you don't grind again, you know, you're level 60, a level 70 Pokemon is going to come out of nowhere and just completely run through your team. And like the level spikes just made no sense. The leveling made no sense. You battled so many trainers. It was constant battling. I mean, like, I get that's what Pokemon is, but it just seemed like it seemed excessive, okay? Because you would battle, let's say 2 or 3 gym trainers and then a gym leader, and then next route you battle like 8 trainers in a row, okay? 8 trainers in a row, and then you have a cave, all right? You battle like a rival type character. Then you go in the cave, you battle like 8 or 9 more trainers, you battle like a level 50 Entei, and then you come out and then you got to do yet another battle, and then you're finally able to hit a Pokemon Center. That is excessive. That's a lot of battling. That's a lot of battling, you guys. Like, I get that that's what Pokemon is, And it's like, Jay, you're complaining about battling, like that's what Pokemon is. I get that, but I feel like that just seemed a little excessive. Personally, like that just seemed extremely excessive. There was just so much battling. And then the thing is that you have a lot of battles, but you don't get enough experience to compensate for the ridiculous level spikes that happen in the game. So it was just like, you know, it was just level spikes, a lot of battling, but you don't get any compensation for that. And like all that put together, it's just like, what? So you just constantly have to grind. You just constantly grind in order to, you know, compensate for the lack of experience that you're getting, and it just sucks, in my personal opinion. Another thing that I didn't like was the lack of hyper potions when you have these level spikes in the game. So we're going back to the level spikes, but the thing is though, is that we had like level 50s, level 60s by badge 3, but the only type of potion we had access to were super potions. And it's like, well, if you want to give us a fighting chance, give us hyper potions, because that's what we need, because our Pokemon have over 100 HP already. Like some of them are probably approaching 200. And so using super potions to heal them up, that's not good. That's just not, that's not good. Okay? Like I understand that the game is supposed to be difficult, but the game is literally out to get you. Like it seemed like the game was against you from the moment you left the first your the hometown. You know, it just seemed like the game was out to get you, and like ridiculous level spikes. Then you battle so many trainers, but you don't get enough experience to compensate for the level spikes. And then it's like you try to battle these trainers who have these like really high level Pokemon, and you have really high level Pokemon, and then like they take you down to the red, and it's like you want to get back up to the green when it comes to healing, but you don't have hyper potions. You have super potions, and you can't get any hyper potions from anywhere until you know, progress with the game. So it's one of those things where it's like you're kind of forced to over level, so then you don't take, you know, the hit as hard. And so then when you don't take the hit as hard, you can heal up with the super potion, and you can somehow win the battle and can progress with the game. But I mean, just all of that in combination with each other just kind of it sucks. It really does suck. It's like I said, it's like the game is out to get you, and you can't do anything about it. You just have to play the game. Well, you don't have to play the game, but if you have to play the game, you know, to get what you want or get what you need. And I don't know, it just kind of sucks that there weren't any early hyper potions in the marts. Rather, you could probably find a wild little hyper potion on the ground, but like, what's one hyper potion gonna do for you? You know, you're gonna need like 30 of those for battles and whatnot, and like you just don't have a fighting chance. And then your opponents, they will use hyper potions for days, and it's like, okay, so you have access to hyper potions, but I don't. All right, that seems totally fair. That seems very, very fair. But that's one other thing I didn't like about the game. Another thing that I didn't like about the game is the glitches in the game. Now, I think that they warn you about all the glitches in the game, but like some of these glitches were like game-breaking glitches, you know? Like I can take a glitch where, you know, a trainer walks away, and then their sprite reappears back at the spot that they were at originally, right? Like I can take that. But if you talk to a certain trainer, or you walk into a certain area, your game will completely freeze, completely glitch out, and you have to restart. You have to like start from where you last saved, which is why in the LP I constantly save stated. So like you can easily, I mean, you can compensate for that just by save stating a lot, but like what if you don't save state and then you run into a random glitch out of nowhere? And then you have to restart, and you have to battle these ridiculous trainers again. Like that kind of sucks. And then also some of the scenes in the game replay. Like I know I was doing some grinding, and you had to fight that old guy, right? And then like you had to fight him. I had to fight him again because like there was a glitch where it's like if you left the town and you came back into the town, you had to battle the old man again. And I was like, wait, what? Or like there was this one other glitch that I heard about where if you battle this karate dude, if he sees you, your game crashes. Or if you talk to the if you battle Kaio, right? You battle Kaio and all those people are watching, and you talk to one of those people, your game freezes. And it's like, that sucks. And it hinders the experience of the game because you have to like constantly restart and everything. And so like, I don't know, there's just glitches in the game, and they weren't the glitches that you know you just look over and just say whatever to. They were glitches that made you have to restart your game, and those are the type of glitches that aren't fun to deal with. Another thing that I didn't really like about the game, which I guess this is like a super duper personal opinion of mine, is that there were characters in the game that didn't really do much of anything. Like Ash, okay, Ash is in the game, but I don't really think he did anything like major in the game. Like, he battles you once, right? I think he battles you once, and he has a Pikachu and a Ho-Oh. He has a Ho-Oh for whatever reason. I know people are gonna say, Jay, he saw Ho-Oh at the beginning of the series. He saw the Ho-Oh, but he didn't catch the Ho-Oh. So why did he have a Ho-Oh, right? But anyway, like, I don't know. I feel like you can take Ash out of the story, and the story doesn't change. Like, if you can take a character out of the story and the story itself does not change, or like it just doesn't change, then like, why are they there in the first place? I don't know. Plus, I'm always against Ash being in the game because I don't know. I don't like it when the anime and the game like mixed together. But then again, there was Max. Max was also in the game, so at least they took a lot of other characters from the anime and threw them in the game. They threw the anime Misty in the game as well because she talked about Dawn and May and Iris, I think, and you know. But I don't know. I prefer anime characters to not be in the game. But really, Ash specifically though, I don't know if he really did anything. I think maybe when we battled Brock, he defeated most of Brock's Pokemon. I could be mistaken, but as far as Ash goes, I don't think he really did anything major for the story. So I really didn't like that. Another thing that I didn't necessarily like about the game was that there were overpowered Pokemon, all right? And when I say overpowered, I mean they could one-shot or two-shot any and everything you have. I'm really just talking about Regigigas and Shadow Lugia, all right? Regigigas without slow start is a monster, which is why it has slow start in Generation 4. Now, of course, slow start is not a thing in Gen 3, so I have no idea what ability Regigigas had, but having a Regigigas as the second, or having the second Elite Four member have a Regigigas that doesn't have slow start and he sends it out like as his third Pokemon, it's kind of broken. And the fact that Hyper Beam can OHKO anything that doesn't resist it, and then if it does resist it, which what resists normal? Let's see, Ghost is immune, Rock and Steel also resist it. Oh wait, it has Earthquake, so you pretty much have to have like a levitating rock or levitating steel type in order to do anything to it. It also gets bulk. It also has bulk up, so you know its only weakness is fighting. Fighting is physical, so you can't really one-shot it with a fighting type move unless you're already boosted before it comes in. And it's like you have no way of knowing this unless people tell you about the game. But it's like if you want to play the game blind, yeah, Registeel is gonna just completely and totally body you. Another scenario is you can Destiny Bond it, yeah, but if you're playing a lot, that's the Pokemon gone, and I mean, kind of sucks. But there's that. And then the Shadow Lugia apparently has a base like 200-300 move that always poisons you. So like, I mean, I guess in that particular case, carry a steel type and just hope and pray you win. But I don't know, really the Regigigas seemed excessive. It seemed like it was just way too strong. And it's like, it's beatable. Don't get me wrong. I know it's beatable. We managed to beat the Regigigas. We beat it. But I still feel like in terms of like a Pokemon game, that is a really strong Pokemon. And that's one of those things that's like, that's a lock ender. That will end your lock easily, like without even breaking a sweat. All right, like it was getting crits for days with Stone Edge. Earthquake just destroys. Hyper Beam hits almost anything that doesn't it OHKOs pretty much anything that doesn't resist it. Okay, so like no matter how bulky you are, like it can OHKO you without boost, and it's just, I don't know, that just seemed a little, that seemed a little too strong. That's just seemed a little too strong for me. So I don't know, I guess that's like a personal thing for me. And it's like people will say things like, you know, oh, you just have to do this, this, and this to beat it. And it's like, I mean, yeah, I understand that. Like I said, it's beatable. We beat it. All right, like we beat it, like going through the game again and actually setting up for it is beatable, you know. But if you're playing the game blind, I just feel like that Pokemon is just a little too strong for a Pokemon game in general, you know. That's why they gave it slow start, because it was just ridiculously strong like that. So I didn't really enjoy that about the game. And the last thing I didn't necessarily like about the game were the text errors in the game. There was a lot of like, it was kind of hard to read the text because there were so many like grammatical errors or spelling errors. And it's like, I understand, like I said, I'm reviewing this just as the game itself. All right, I'm not taking into account anything on the outside. All right, I'm just reviewing the game in itself. All right, so I understand, you know, like there's just a lot of text errors. So when it comes to commentating and, you know, you read out the text, it's like there's a sentence there that just kind of trips you up, and you have to like reread it like 3 times in order to understand what it's saying. And it's like, what? You know, and it just takes away from the game, in my opinion, because you're constantly trying to figure out what is being said. And I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it. I feel like if a game is a game, there should be like minimal grammatical and spelling errors. That's just my personal opinion. Like I said, I'm just reviewing the game as the game itself. I'm not taking into account anything on the outside, any outside forces, because I know that the creator of the game was really young when they made the game. I know that the person who scripted the game, I think either English wasn't their first language or something like that. I understand that. I understand all of that, all right? But I'm just reviewing the game as a game, all right? That's all I'm doing, just as a game, all right? So that's pretty much about it for the review. So overall, if you can get past the glitches and like the level spikes and things like that, if you can get past pretty much everything that I complained about, then you'll probably enjoy the game. You'll definitely enjoy the game. Me personally, like, I enjoyed the story, but there were so many things in the game that just kind of hindered the experience for me, and so I didn't really enjoy Dark Rising as much as like the next person would. So that's just me. Like I said, I don't know, like I guess there's just like a certain standard that you have to like hit, and like there were certain things in the game that it made the game rage inducing. And it's like, I can understand, like there are games out there that are rage inducing just on their own or whatever, and it's just like once you get past that part, oh, you're good to go. But it just seemed like this game, for me, it was just constantly rage inducing. I was just constantly angry at the game, and I don't know, people still enjoyed the LP somehow, some way. People still enjoyed the Let's Play. But yes, I did a lot of complaining in the Let's Play, but I feel like my complaining was justified. It's not like I was complaining like, oh man, why is this dude hair glitching out? Oh gosh, it's so stupid, you know. Like, I wasn't complaining about that. I was complaining that like the game was genuinely being unfair to the player. So I don't know, but that's just it. That's just me though. So let me know what you guys think of the game down in the comment section below. Please don't start a war, don't start a riot, don't start anything like that. All right, you know, this game is pretty difficult. It's difficult in a sense of the game is just out to get you. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. Okay, let me repeat that: personal opinion. Because if you don't say, well, even if you say personal opinion, people will still argue about it. I don't know. Just don't have a war in the comment section, you guys. All right. This is just my review. This is just my personal review of the game. I do this every time I finish a ROM hack now. So, you know, yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go and get out of here. So thank you guys for watching. The death montage will be up at some point this week because there are a lot of deaths in the Dark Rising Nuzlocke. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.